Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. This is an unboxing I want to do of these two decks. Well, maybe I shouldn't call it unboxing. I was trying to unbox it on my camera, but something went wrong with it and it didn't focus, and when I looked at the video again, it was just not watchable, so I had to unfortunately scrape it. But these are the two decks which I bought actually last year for myself as a Christmas gift. Why not? And they both come from Meneghello, but I bought them actually in tarotbg.eu. It's a shop in Bulgaria, I think, and they stock Meneghello decks and all different sorts of decks, which sometimes, for example, I bought the Lisa de San Croix tarot as well because she ships quite expensively to Europe tracked, and when you order from tarotbg it's still quite cheaper, so it's like another little red tarot alternative to us. And they stock a lot of historical decks, which is awesome. So let's start with just saying that I didn't expect Tarocco Piemontese. So this is Tarocco Piemontese, the bigger one. I didn't expect it to be so much bigger than the NeoClassico. So Tarocco Piemontese comes from 19th century, and Tarocco NeoClassico also comes from 19th century. Both are stunning decks by Meneghello. So let's just try. You all know this deck if you know Kelly from the Truth Story, and the Meneghello box is really beautiful. So all the cards are made by hand. There's a little disclaimer, and this is also deck 1045 from 2000. So this edition had 2000 exemplars, and these are the backs of the cards. Oh, maybe let's just move it aside. So these are the backs of the cards. All the Meneghello decks, or at least all of that I've seen, have not rounded corners, which I don't mind at all. I actually really love it. This particular edition has also these cute little frames around the cards, which is lovely. So this is a Italian style deck. We could probably call it Tarot de Marseille, but I don't think actually it is Tarot de Marseille. Just the pips are spread differently to traditional Tarot de Marseille style. And as you can see, it's a totally different style of art and different style of putting the pips out. But it's very romantic. It's very kind of gentle and beautiful, and I think it's going to be lovely to read. I think my favorite decks are the traditional Tarot de Marseille decks, but I wanted to have this deck in my collection because I don't have a deck like this. I did have Soprafino at some point, which I know that a lot of people like, but I swapped it. I wasn't smitten by it. I think I prefer this neoclassical tarot, but then we'll see how it will read for me, because it might be, it might be, it's always a surprise. You never know how a deck will read for you. So yeah, this is the NeoClassico. I'm not going to show all the cards, just because if you really want to see all of them, just go and see Kelly's video. I will link it below so you can take a look. But it's a beautiful deck. These cards are quite handy, not too big. They shuffle well. With the riffle shuffling, I tried. You can do it, but it's not very easy. This one doesn't have very much of a bend, so it's quite stiff, this one, but it shuffles very well overhand like this. It's really comfortable, and the cards just look really beautiful when you put them on to the table. They clear, easy to read. We can give it a bit of a, so they quite, easy to read, and as I said, just quite beautiful. So this is Tarocco NeoClassico by Meneghello, and let's put it back into the box. And then we have this Tarocco Piemontese, and I'm surprised that this deck is so big. But look, I thought that the box is a little bit too flat, like kind of, cards stick out. This is the first time I've seen a box like this. It fits perfectly, you know, when you have the lid on, but yeah, a bit strange. And this deck is 144 out of 400, so this edition only had 400 exemplars. So it comes from 2014, so I don't know how many there are still left. It's gorgeous. And nope, not this way, I want to go this way. So here are the backs of this deck, and this deck is actually really cool to shuffle. I was surprised. It does have a band, so you can shuffle it if you want. Riffle shuffle. I'm not going to overuse the riffle shuffling, but it's much more bendier than Tarocco NeoClassico. So these are the bags, and oh, this is my favorite card. So I really love what I loved about this deck. First of all, is the style. It's a bit different to all the other Tarot de Marseille I had, but I love that mint like green. I love that color. So the star is gorgeous. That's Queen of Swords. So all you can see from this deck is this more traditional look, a little bit blurry, you know, in parts, but with these gorgeous images, these gorgeous colors of this mint green, which I love, the kind of pinkish brown, and this is more traditional Tarot de Marseille, as you can see by the pips. It's definitely Tarot de Marseille style, and I love this deck. It feels so good. Look at the Hermit. So cool. What's this yellow thing? Is it his hair? Yeah, love it, love it. So I'm actually very positively surprised with this Piemontese deck. So I think if you like this older style decks, this is definitely one to look into. And the paper feels good, it's smooth, has really nice feel to it. And that's the moon. And yeah, I definitely, if I was to choose between the Piemontese and the NeoClassico, I would definitely choose the Piemontese, because this is my favorite type of decks. Death. Not very friendly, this one, is it? In the NeoClassico it was kind of really quite happy death. I don't know if I showed it, but yeah. So no numbers on caps. It's like on Dodo or on Noble, one of those two or both of them don't have numbers on caps and on coins, but then they have numbers on wands and on swords. Lovers, also quite cool. And the Fool, I like him. Yeah, and there's numbers on both ends on swords, and do we have any more? Yeah, and on wands also on both ends. So Tarocco Piemontese, and that's the Devil. And I love it. So if we want to just leave that, sorry, I just want to leave one of those. And also it shuffles really well like this, but you can also riffle shuffle. So what is the star balancing? So some action. There's the Knight of Wands, and she is balancing stability, and so either the stability of our you know, like whatever we manifested, our structure, stability of our structure and our ability to go for things. But what is the knight kind of putting his wand on? Okay, so he maybe feels a little bit stuck in this moment. This is 9 of swords, so there's this one medium sword which gets a lot of opposition from all the other swords. So maybe he has to come to some exciting new idea, because if he's going to go for the traditional way of thinking, he might not go very far. So the star is kind of maybe shedding some light on that he needs to think outside the box, outside of that metal embrace of the other swords. So I love how it looks. I think it's amazing. I love this deck. Oh my god, this might be one of my top 5 Tarot de Marseille decks, and the way it feels, it's really cool. It reminds me a little bit of my Doddle. Maybe not as buttery, but very, very nice in hands. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I speak to you soon. Bye.